You're right. Let's dive deeper into the specifics to make this truly valuable for someone looking to pick the right plants for landscaping. This guide will be more tailored to those who want to go beyond basic advice and get into the finer details that make a landscape really shine. When it comes to landscaping, one of the most important decisions you'll make is choosing the right plants. This process isn't just about picking what's pretty or what's available. It's about understanding your space, your needs, and how each plant will interact with the environment you've created. If you're trying to craft a lasting, thriving garden, choosing the right plants is an art form. So let me guide you through the more nuanced process of picking the right plants for your landscaping. First things first, before you even step foot into a nursery, take a good, hard look at the microclimates within your space. We tend to think of a garden as one large space, but your yard might actually have several microclimates depending on factors like shade, wind, moisture, and even soil variation. These little pockets can make all the difference in what plants you select. For example, maybe one corner of your garden gets full morning sun but is shaded by the afternoon. Or maybe a small section stays damp throughout the year due to poor drainage. Microclimates offer you the opportunity to choose plants that can thrive in those specific conditions. So you're not fighting with your environment, but instead using it to your advantage. This means assessing not just how much sun your garden gets overall, but looking at different spots in your garden and understanding when and how much sunlight each gets. Some areas may be perfect for sun-loving plants, while others may need something more tolerant of shade or even wet conditions. Soil isn't just dirt, it's one of the most important factors that determines plant success. A plant can thrive in one soil type, but struggle in another. When you're picking plants, it's crucial to take into account whether your soil is clay-based, sandy, loamy, or rocky. The reason this matters is simple: drainage. Clay soils retain water and can cause plants to drown, while sandy soils drain too quickly, causing roots to dry out. Loamy soil is the sweet spot because it drains well while still retaining moisture, but not all plants like the same type of soil. Take the time to improve your soil before planting or choose plants that are specifically suited to your soil conditions. You can amend soil with compost, organic matter, or sand to improve texture, drainage, or nutrient content based on what your plants need. If you're planting something like succulents or lavender, they will thrive in well-drained, slightly alkaline soils, while hydrangeas or ferns might prefer more acidic, moisture-retentive soils. When you go to a nursery, plant labels can be deceiving. Many times they focus on how plants look and give minimal insight into how they'll perform in your specific garden. A label might say, sun-loving or drought-tolerant, but don't rely solely on these broad descriptors. Do a little extra research about the plant. Look into its long-term growth habits. How big will it get? Will it become invasive or spread uncontrollably? Will it need constant pruning or special care? Take into consideration not only the height and width, but how dense it will grow, and whether it will block out the light for other plants. Just because a plant is labeled as drought-tolerant doesn't mean it's low maintenance across all seasons. It may still need periodic care during the growing season. For example, ornamental grasses are often labeled as low maintenance, but some varieties require annual cutting back and meticulous care to maintain their shape and appearance. Meanwhile, a plant like hosta, which thrives in the shade, can easily become invasive if not kept in check. When designing your landscape, aim for year-round interest. A common mistake people make is planting for one season and forgetting about the rest of the year. To create a dynamic landscape that works in every season, consider the following. Spring, early blooming bulbs like tulips and daffodils can create vibrant pops of color as soon as the weather warms. Don't forget to layer in perennials like peonies and daylilies for early season interest. Summer, focus on plants with dense foliage and flowers that can withstand the heat, like coneflowers, bee balm, or lavender. These plants not only look beautiful but also attract pollinators. Fall, consider adding ornamental grasses or shrubs with colorful foliage. Maples, hydrangeas, and sumac can give your landscape a fiery pop as the weather cools. Winter, incorporating evergreens like pines, junipers, and boxwoods helps your landscape look full and green even in the coldest months. Plants with interesting bark or berries can also add texture and color when the rest of the garden is bare. A well-rounded garden doesn't just look good in one season, it continues to evolve as the year progresses. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room: maintenance. Everyone loves the idea of a low-maintenance garden, but the reality is that it takes work to create a space that's both stunning and functional. When choosing your plants, it's important to factor in how much time you want to spend caring for them. Some plants are incredibly low maintenance, requiring little to no pruning or fertilizing once established. Others, like roses or fruit trees, might require more frequent care. If you're looking for a garden that doesn't need constant attention, look for plants that are adapted to your climate and soil, as they will thrive with less care. Native plants in particular are a great choice because they're already adapted to your environment and are less prone to pests and diseases. However, if you're the type of person who enjoys tending to your garden, there's plenty of room for more high-maintenance varieties. Just be prepared for the upkeep. Lastly, think about the aesthetic and atmosphere you want to create. Are you going for a more formal manicured look? Or do you prefer a relaxed, naturalistic garden? Your plant choices should align with this vision. For a clean, structured look, you might opt for plants that have a defined shape and neat growth habits like boxwoods or lavender. If you want a wild, lush garden full of character, go for a mix of perennials, grasses, and shrubs that have different textures and forms. Think about how the plants will layer together, creating a dynamic flow of height, width, and color. Choosing the right plants for landscaping is about more than just filling your space with greenery. It's about understanding your environment, choosing plants that work with it, and crafting a space that reflects your personal style and needs. By considering your microclimates, soil conditions, long-term growth, and maintenance needs, you'll create a garden that not only looks beautiful but thrives for years. I hope this guide has given you a deeper understanding of how to approach plant selection. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to Botanical Bliss for more in-depth tips and inspiration, and feel free to share this with someone who's looking to start their landscaping journey. Let's make your outdoor space a true reflection of your style and personality.